And this is really interesting. This is something that I came across. I hadn't heard it anywhere else, and this is really interesting to me. So, AT&T, of course, owns Time Warner, so they're going to be relevant when it comes to HBO Max. And this says AT&T's secret streaming weapon could be Star Wars. This is a seekingalpha.com article. It's dated February 18th, so it's pretty recent. Here's a summary of the article for you. HBO Max may have greater rights to the Star Wars library than we all realized when initially assessing it. AT&T has apparently retained the rights it acquired from Disney for Star Wars' first 11 movies for TV and companion online on-demand rights. Such rights would presumably be transferable to the new HBO Max, though it might require integrating a live stream of Turner networks. Star Wars could conceivably be some of the most efficient content on the new service on a dollar per viewer basis. The AT&T Disney deal required a minimum number of ad breaks, so AT&T would have to run ads even for ad-free Max subscribers. But it could be a major advantage in the streaming wars. Had you heard about this, Dave?
No, this is crazy because the whole thing with Disney Plus was that they were getting their content back. So it's still crazy to me that there's still, because we've talked about this before, that even so some of these streaming services have paid these huge dollar amounts for things like Friends and stuff because of these old contracts that are still floating around.
Right.
At any point, it may show up on another service. It may leave the service that you subscribed, specifically for that and go somewhere else. A good example of this, which I brought up before, I keep telling people, if you haven't seen Justified, if you have Hulu, now is your chance. Justified is the first several seasons of Justified. I love that show. Highly, highly recommend Justified. Justified, as I told you, I was rewatching it for the third time on Amazon Prime. And then all of a sudden one day I go to log in and I have to pay to watch an episode. I'm like, well, that sucks. And then I go over to Hulu to find something else to watch. And lo and behold, guess what's on Hulu to watch actually right now as a part of that service? Justified. Justified is now on Hulu. So
just don't drink the apple pie.
No, you are correct, Dr. Strange. No one should drink the apple pie. That is a deep dive Justified reference. We have a fellow Rayleigh Gibbons. Well, I don't know if you're a fan of Rayleigh Gibbons, Doctor, but definitely do not drink the apple pie. That is a all-time comment. But no, I hadn't heard this, but I'm not too surprised. But I am shocked that it's Star Wars. That is one of Disney Plus's major selling points, is that they actually, I think, just recently got, there's a couple of things they actually just recently got on Disney Plus that they didn't have at launch that was Star Wars. I don't know. This is crazy to me. This is crazy. But I look at CBS All Access too. You can watch Star Wars on Amazon Prime. You can watch it on Netflix still. But they're touting as being on CBS All Access. And it's funny because I've actually been watching, when I watch Star Trek right now, I've actually been watching it on Netflix because I'm having issues with CBS All Access. Whenever it tries to go to a commercial break on original series and next gen episodes or Enterprise or whatever, it hangs up and crashes the system.
Yeah.
I don't know what is, and then I tried to send a query. Look at me complaining about my streaming service on a live show. I tried to send my query actually to CBS and it didn't work. It failed through my television. Wow. So I'm gonna have to log in on a browser and be like, yo, can you fix your thing? Because it don't work. But I've actually been watching Star Trek, even though I pay for CBS All Access, actually on Netflix. It's another reason I haven't got rid of Netflix yet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
About crazy having Star Wars on there. There's one thing that kind of struck me as strange. On the CW app, you can actually watch Blade, the TV series.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, I was curious where Blade was because that television show, it's like you can't find it anywhere. I was curious, so I guess it's on CW. That's interesting.
That is interesting. That's weird.
CW Seed.
CW.
Yeah,
Oh,
more
it's Seed,
precise.
no less. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. So one of the things before I even found out about this article, but it was going through my head, is I don't have cable, but my parents do. My mom still has cable, and there are other places I go where they have cable, and I've had access to cable. And fairly recently, I think it was actually at the gym, I noticed that they were playing, one of the Star Wars movies. This was like right before Rise of Skywalker came on. They were playing it on TNT. And I was thinking about that, as I just casually was like, that's kind of interesting that, Warner, because I know Warner Brothers owns TNT, has apparently has these broadcast rights to Star Wars. And it's kind of interesting that those rights are what we're talking about here, that they could use this sort of as a backdoor to get it on their streaming platforms. And that would be a really good move by Warner Brothers if they did that. So we'll have to see if they take advantage of this or not.
It'd be interesting.
As long as I still get to see Mandalorian season 2.
Yes.
Right. Right.
That's the priority. Mandalorian season 2. I agree, Dr. Strange. That for me is also a priority. So are we good with streaming wars?
Yeah, that's all I had.